My friend, welcome. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You already know that when I create art, I just need to get my feelings out of me. I need to put them somewhere, so I need to create something to dump it all into. And I will create an image of how I'm feeling that day, what's coming up for me, what's the main takeaway? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it something that I need to rant about? Or is it something that I just want to capture because it was so beautiful? But the beauty of working like this, where you're sitting down daily or most days to capture just whatever is happening for you in the moment, is that you don't have to plan. You don't have to have this huge big plan or vision of what a series of art could look like or what your next body of work is going to be, because it's literally just your life. You're just showing up to the studio every day or whenever you sit down once a week, and you're just like, hey, I'm here, what's coming up for me today, and this is what it's going to be about. And you let your style evolve. And the secret that I was going to share was that I've been taking this approach not only to my art, but to these videos. I used to stress so much about needing to have a plan, needing to know exactly what I'm going to be doing a month out, or needing to know what I'm going to talk about, and having a whole no, none of that. The only way I've been able to keep coming here and sitting down with you and doing these videos is by literally just turning up on the day and then seeing what comes up for me, and then talking to you about it and sharing it with you and creating some art about it, which is the same practice. And it seems to be the only thing that works for me. Literally just taking everything day by day and trying to be more in the moment. What's happening right now? Let's work with that. Let's not worry about next month's video script. I don't have scripts, but if I did, they would probably be something I'd worry about. Do you know, I came into the studio and was like, what do I feel like doing today? What do I feel like creating? I want to share some feelings around how I'm feeling about worrying about letting somebody down. Someone who has given me a lot of help, and even though it's a transactional relationship that I have with them, I still feel a little bit obliged to want to take their help, and I no longer want it, and I don't like that because it means I'll be letting them down a little bit, and it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So we're going to make some art about that, because what else can you do? And I looked at my wall and I thought, what do I want to do? Because this is like my wall of play. I have shown up and created the art that I felt like doing on the day, and they all kind of look a bit different to each other. Yes, it's always my style and it's always my drawing, and I take the similar approach with line or people or text or collage, but ultimately they're all doing their own thing. And today, some days I feel like just doing purely drawings. Last week's drawing, we just did a journal drawing, and it was black and white, pen and ink, nothing else. Go check that out if you haven't already. But I don't feel like doing that today. I feel like doing a page where the page is really full. And that's probably a reflection of how I'm feeling what life is like at the moment. Life is very full of wonderful things, but just full. So I'm going to use some magazines to create from, and start with a magazine page rather than a blank white page, because it's kind of fun for me to take something existing and then improve on that or alter it in some way, rather than starting fresh from complete scratch.
So now for the fun part, where I get to go collecting and just explore various magazines and see what speaks to me. I always like to start with a more manageable sized page instead of like a huge A4. I can find that quite overwhelming, so I create my own size. What you don't see after I've edited the video is how much there is time of me sat waiting and thinking and listening to what I'm being called to and looking at what is actually inspiring me in the magazines. So there's a lot of downtime, particularly when it comes to drawing, because sometimes I don't know really how to describe or draw what it is I want to express. So do not let the editing fool you that this all comes to me immediately and it's easy as pie, because it's not always. These look like clouds, but they're not. You will see. The text says, "The courage of you must be practiced." And I really liked that as a sentence that just kind of appeared, and it spoke to me in that being yourself and having the courage to just be authentically you all the time is very much a practice. It's not something that can always happen. It's, not easy to do all the time in our society. So it's really a practice, an ongoing practice, particularly for me. This is a little house on the hill. Reminds me of a song. And now you can see that these are hills, and I've drawn lots of cars and really busy road outside this little house that has a red flag on it. We all know what a red flag says. This is me doing my whoosh, my swirl, turning around. And my thought bubble says, actually, it's not quite right after all. Hence me turning the other way and walking away. And here is the person I have to let down, left kind of stumped that I've changed my mind and I'm walking away when it's not what they wanted me to do. But that's okay. I felt like the border needed to be left unfinished because it wasn't a solid resolution, I guess. It was quite symbolic.
I wonder, just as a side note, put this at the end, Rhiannon, that a lot of it comes from, well, a lot of the resonance comes from just making art authentically. What do you want to make that truly speaks to you, that's truly just for you? Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, doesn't matter if it's good or it's bad. Take your own judgments out of it. What would be fun for you right now? What would be a fun art project that just starts and finishes? I don't know, give yourself 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 5 minutes with a post-it note if you saw any of those videos. But just what would be authentically right for you to do today, right now. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about what you were doing yesterday. Don't worry about it needing to be a series or needing it to be cohesive or a certain practice. Just like, what do you feel like doing right now? What do you need to express? Do that. My friend, thank you so much for being here today. I love being able to share these videos with you, and I love all of your comments and your likes. They're so nice, and last week's one was a hard one for me, so I really appreciate all the really kind words that you had for me, so thank you. If you're interested in my style and the artwork that I create based on this daily life of an artist kind of vibe that I have going on, be sure to check out my 100 Days of Art book that I made recently, which talks about all the art that I made over 100 days of drawing in a row. It was really hard and I learned a lot, and I learned how to do it successfully. So in this book I share kind of the struggles, but also why it worked and how to do it in a way that really works for you rather than the hard slog. And I share all the pictures, and you can do it too. It is in link below. If you are new here, then please like and subscribe, because it really means so much to me when I know that these videos are adding like just a little bit of joy and quality to your life. And if it is, then that really means the world to me. Whoops. Right. Tea, support chocolate, magazines, journal, sketchbook, vibes. Oh,